For years, BTS's Taehyung, known to millions as V, and Jungkook, the group's youngest member, have captivated fans with their unshakable bond. From the earliest days of BTS, when they were just 7 boys in a small dorm sharing meals and chasing dreams, V and Jungkook formed a connection that stood out. Their laughter, playful fights, and quiet support for each other became a cornerstone of what fans lovingly call the Taikook friendship. But with fame comes scrutiny, and every smile, every glance, and every word between them has been dissected by millions of eyes across the globe. Over the years, questions lingered in the ARMY fandom. What do V and Jungkook truly feel about each other? Are they simply best friends? Or is there something deeper, something unspoken, hidden beneath the surface? For the longest time, both idols remained gracefully silent. Their interactions spoke louder than any words, and fans often filled in the blanks with their own interpretations. But recently, that silence broke. When Taehyung unexpectedly revealed his true feelings about Jungkook in an interview that shook the fandom, armies around the world were left stunned. Social media erupted, hashtags trended globally, and millions of fans tried to process what had just been said. The calm between them, so carefully balanced for years, suddenly felt like it had shifted forever. The moment happened quietly at first. BTS had been participating in a special behind-the-scenes documentary, one designed to capture their individual thoughts about music, brotherhood, and the pressures of global fame. Each member had a solo segment, and when it was Taehyung's turn, the atmosphere changed. Sitting in a softly lit room, wearing a simple white shirt, Taehyung looked less like a global superstar and more like a young man carrying a secret he had held onto for too long. His voice was calm, but the weight of his words could be felt in every syllable. "Jungkook," Taehyung began, pausing for a long moment before continuing. "There are things I've never said to him directly, but I think it's time people know how I really feel." Those words sent a ripple through the production crew. The cameras zoomed closer. Every ARMY watching later would describe the moment as if time itself had stopped. Taehyung leaned back, his eyes soft but intense, and continued. "Jungkook isn't just a younger member to me. He's someone who understands me in ways others don't. We've had fights, we've had misunderstandings, but in the end, he's always there. I don't think people know how much he means to me." The honesty of his voice was enough to make even the strongest hearts tremble. It wasn't just the words, it was the raw vulnerability behind them. V, usually playful, charismatic, and guarded, was laying his soul bare. And then came the line that shattered ARMY. "I guess what I'm trying to say is, Jungkook has a part of me that no one else ever will." It's hard to explain, but it's the truth. The internet went wild. On Twitter, hashtags like TaikookTruth, VConfession, and BTS Shattered trended within minutes. Fans debated endlessly. What did he mean? Was this brotherly love? Was it deeper than friendship? Was Taehyung confessing something more than just admiration? For many armies, the line blurred between fan theories and reality. Some cried tears of joy, believing their years of faith in the Taikook bond had been validated. Others wept from heartbreak, unsure how to handle the overwhelming intimacy of Taehyung's words. The fandom was divided, but one truth remained. Nothing would ever be the same again. If to truly understand the impact of Taehyung's confession, one must look back at the roots of his bond with Jungkook. Their story began long before stadium tours and Billboard awards, back in the days when they were simply 2 young boys in a cramped dorm, trying to survive the demanding world of K-pop trainees. Jungkook, the youngest of BTS, entered big hit entertainment at just 13 years old. Shy, reserved, and incredibly talented, he often felt the weight of being the magne, the youngest in the group. Taehyung, on the other hand, came from Taegu with a bright personality that naturally drew people in. While he was not even initially announced as part of BTS until later, his warm energy and unique charm made him unforgettable. From the start, Jungkook and Taehyung gravitated toward each other. Their personalities, though different, complemented one another. Taehyung's playful nature brought Jungkook out of his shell, while Jungkook's quiet determination grounded Taehyung's more whimsical side. ARMY still remembers the early days, grainy behind-the-scenes videos where V would cling to Jungkook, whisper jokes in his ear, or make exaggerated faces just to make him laugh. Jungkook, who often struggled to express himself in words, would simply smile or push V away playfully, only for Taehyung to come back again moments later. These seemingly small interactions built the foundation of what fans now call the Taikook dynamic. They were not just fellow members, they were companions, rivals, protectors, and confidants. As BTS rose from an underdog group to international superstars, their bond only grew stronger. Through sleepless nights, endless rehearsals, and moments of crushing self-doubt, V and Jungkook became each other's safe space. When Jungkook struggled with the pressure of being the center of attention, it was Taehyung who reminded him that he didn't need to carry the world alone. And when Taehyung faced criticism for his unique personality or musical style, Jungkook stood beside him with unwavering loyalty. Fans coined terms like soulmates and kindred spirits to describe their connection. Every smile exchanged during concerts, every moment of eye contact during interviews, every quiet whisper caught on camera, ARMY believed it was proof of something deeper. So, when Taehyung finally revealed his feelings in words during that documentary, it wasn't just a confession out of nowhere. It was the culmination of years of visible closeness, subtle hints, and unspoken truths. For ARMYs who had watched their story unfold since day one, it felt like the climax of a tale written over an entire decade. While many fans celebrated the obvious displays of affection between V and Jungkook, the most devoted ARMYs often pointed out the subtle, easily missed moments that spoke volumes about their relationship. One fan compiled a video montage of clips where Taehyung seemed to instinctively look for Jungkook in crowded rooms. During award shows, when cameras panned across the group, Taehyung's eyes almost always searched for the magne. When Jungkook felt nervous before a big performance, V would lean in with a joke, a hand on his shoulder, or sometimes just a glance that said, "You'll be fine. I'm here." Another moment that resurfaced after Taehyung's confession was from a concert in 2017. During an emotional ending speech, Jungkook broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the weight of success and expectations. As other members comforted him, Taehyung quietly reached out and intertwined their fingers for just a second, long enough to ground Jungkook, but subtle enough that most of the audience missed it. Fans who later rewatched the footage realized the depth of that small gesture. There was also the infamous late-night hotel livestream, where Taehyung and Jungkook appeared together unexpectedly. The way they laughed, teased each other, and seemed utterly comfortable hinted at a bond that extended far beyond what fans were allowed to see on stage. Though they didn't reveal much, their body language spoke louder than words. After V's recent statement, ARMYs flooded social media with these clips, analyzing them with fresh eyes. He said Jungkook has a part of him no one else does. "This explains everything," wrote one fan on Twitter. Another commented, "We weren't imagining it. All those little looks, all those subtle touches, they were real." But with this flood of emotions came confusion too. Some ARMYs felt protective of the bond, wanting to preserve it as a symbol of pure friendship. Others interpreted Taehyung's words as a possible romantic revelation. The fandom was split, and debates raged across platforms, but one thing was undeniable. The truth had shaken the entire ARMY world. For years, fans prided themselves on knowing BTS, on being able to decode their personalities and relationships through small details. But Taehyung's confession reminded everyone that even the closest bond between idols is layered with complexities fans may never fully understand. Still, that mystery only deepened the fascination. After Taehyung's confession, the world turned its attention to one person, Jungkook. If V had just opened his heart, what would the youngest member of BTS say in response? Would he match Taehyung's vulnerability with his own words, or would he remain silent, letting speculation swallow the fandom whole? For days, Jungkook said nothing. No Weverse posts, no live streams, no offhand comments in interviews. The silence was deafening. Fans camped on Twitter timelines, desperately analyzing his every move. Did his smile in that airport photo mean something? Did his choice of song on Spotify hint at a hidden message? army became detectives, clinging to any sign of a response. And then it happened.